Hi folks, Puffin here with your Antifa News Briefa for November 3rd, 2021. This edition is about Trump's Tomahawk chop. So first I want to say congratulations to the Braves. Go Braves. I cheer for the Braves. I do not do the Tomahawk chop though because it's racist. And the one time I went to a Braves game in the 90s, I didn't stand for the national anthem because it's racist. But I did want to talk about Trump cheering for the Braves. And while I am celebrating the Braves winning the World Series, I'm not celebrating with Trump because Trump isn't a Braves fan. Trump is a racist fan. Let me prove it to you. Why was Trump there doing the Tomahawk chop in the first place? And for one thing, that's probably why they lost, because they didn't deserve to win while Trump was there. But cursing him like that. But why was he there doing the Tomahawk chop? Why was he cheering on the Braves, for instance? I want to take a step back and say, why was he at a baseball game in the first place? But first, why was he cheering on the Braves versus the Astros? Well, for one, the Astros are cheaters, so you'd think he would cheer on the Astros. I mean, they're previously cheaters anyway, so you think he might cheer them on based on their cheating affinity. But most importantly, Trump's all about his politics and his brand and who's on his side and who's not. And he's been trash talking even the Georgia Republicans and trying to undermine them or run other candidates against them because they didn't throw the election for him. They didn't find 11,000 votes for him so that he couldn't win the election because he lost it and he wanted them to cheat and break the law and commit treason and destroy democracy by just giving it to him anyway. And so he's mad at him for not doing that. While Texas did attempt to do that, I guess, more or less, or maybe they didn't have to. I guess maybe I don't know what happened in Texas regarding that. But Texas has been doing all the super Trumpy stuff, trying to ban masks and trying to keep spreading the Trump virus genocide as much as possible. So Texas Governor Abbott's been doing that. So you'd think that he would be on Texas's side for that. For lots of reasons. You'd think if he's going to go to the baseball game and cheer on the team, he would probably cheer on Texas. But no, he was supposed to be cheering on the Braves by doing the Tomahawk chop because it's the racist thing to do. It's the most racist thing he could do, so he had to do the most racist thing. And that's all Trump is about. He's not about the baseball, he's not about the Braves, he's not about Georgia, he's not about America. He's just about the racism. And this is true for all Trumpers. They really proved it in their Capitol attack, and they really proved it in their response to the withdrawal from Afghanistan because they're not pro-military, they're not pro-police. They say they support the soldier, they say they support the police officer, but all they support is the racism. They all too often the military and the police are intertwined with racism. It's such a racist system that they're protecting that racist system, and they are part of the racism. But say in the case of trying to stop Trump from overthrowing the government, well, that would be white supremacy overthrowing the rest of us, and that's what Trumpers are for, and therefore they're against any police that try to stop them, they're against any military that try to stop them. And they showed that just to be able to badmouth Joe Biden, they had to talk trash about the military withdrawal. They have to talk about trash about the general, about General Milley. He says he would like to root out white supremacy from the military, which would be a great thing. If we could root out white supremacy from the entire government, we'd be good. But basically, they're all about the racism. That's all they stand for. It's too embedded in American history, but it's not part of America's future. So we need to help educate these people and get them back to being Americans again, or cut them off somehow. Like let them know, their views aren't true. It's just supporting terrorism. So that's what Trump went to the Braves game to do, support terrorism. Now, taking a step back from why is he at a Braves game anyway? Why are any of y'all watching any sports? I used to not like sports as a kid. Then as I grew up, I was like, sports is for, jocks or whatever. But as I grew up, I was like, I'm going to enjoy sports. I'm going to try to enjoy sports. And since I tried, I do. I enjoy sports. It's kind of the same with America. I thought, well, America's for racists. America's, stands for all this terrible stuff. And then you can see how it could turn around. There's always been a good dream there. There's always been good people, always doing good things. But Trump really took the whole racist side and took you guys over Traitor's Cliff. So you gave us the country. Now we can be patriotic because you guys have all turned traitor. Now we can enjoy sports because you guys have all boycotted them because you're all the shut up and dribble crowd is all about, free speech can never be used against white supremacy. And so therefore you're going to boycott the NFL or boycott the NBA or boycott baseball. Because when I think about it, as far as I know, one of the first protests against racism was Mudcat Grant back in the 60s. And when Texas player threatened to lynch him if he came to Texas, and he did an anthem protest. Texas player threatened to lynch him if he did it in Texas, and he knocked him out right there on the spot in Ohio. He got suspended for the rest of the season for knocking him out. I don't know if the other guy got suspended for threatening to lynch him, but that's, white supremacy and like what y'all are about. But we had a protest in baseball against white supremacy back then. So why have you continued to watch baseball? Why aren't you this shut up and swing or shut up and pitch crowd? You don't have any real principles. Your one principle turns out to be white supremacy, which isn't a principle. It's just a false lie. So we'll get through that myth and get through some other myths too, like the myth of scarcity, which makes rich people afraid that poor people are going to take all their stuff. Never going to. If we get over the myth, you'll realize rich people can stay rich. Poor people will stop existing anymore, not because you kill us all off, but because we become rich or, well off enough as well. And then more people can keep becoming rich. There is actual superabundance waiting for the people with limited mindsets to get out of those limited mindsets. And we can help it happen. We got to stop the racism. And that's one place that always shows up. It's one of the most limiting mindsets there is racism. And Trump and all Trumpism being behind promoting that is real obvious in this case. So thanks for watching the video, sharing, and commenting. But let's cut it out. Thanks for watching. See you soon.